Okay, here we go. Notes. Today we're combining triangles and parallel lines. So this is going to be important for the next couple sections that we're going to do. So just write this down. A segment, so that's a line that joins the midpoints. So that's important, midpoints of two sides of a triangle is two things. One, that segment is parallel to the third side of the triangle, and that segment is half as long as the third side. Now let's put a picture to our statements. Okay, so there's a triangle. Let's pick two midpoints. So these are the two sides. It could be any two sides. It could have been this side and this side. Here, this side and that side. But let's label it A, B, C for the triangle, and D, E for the midpoint. I'm going to put a little M there so you know that I said that that was the midpoint. And we're going to connect them. Well, this says that this line is parallel to the bottom or the third side. Now, if you'll remember, or if you're just kind of getting into this, I need you to remember that parallel lines opens up a whole new world where we have same side interior, corresponding, angles like that. Okay, so what we know, because this is a midpoint, we know that this part and this part are equal on your sides, because the midpoint breaks it into two equal parts. And then these two sides, or these two parts of that side, will be equal. So AB and DB, BE and BC, those are equal, not necessarily to each other, like this side's not equal to that side, but the two parts on each side of the midpoint is what's equal. Okay, and then we know that DE, one that connects the segments, is half as big as AC. Let's talk about that for a second. If I'm looking at a triangle, this point up here is tiny. But I really needed to see the connection. And then in the big picture, as you go down, the line going across would get bigger. So in the big picture, we're going to call that huge. No, it may not be huge, but it's just what I'm going to do. So in between, everything in between is smaller than huge. So when I connect these right here, we'll call that small. So this third side is always going to be bigger than everything else above it. So what this says is that the one that joins the two midpoints is half as long as the third side. So if I know that this is 10, what does that make the inside line? How big is the inside line there? If it's half as big as the bottom, how big would it be?
5.
It'd be 5. See? So, and if I told you that this was 10, you would double it to get the bottom to be 20. Okay, so that's how that works. So if I tell you that this bottom is 18, what would DE be?
9.
9. Okay, so this would be 9. And if I told you that this was 18, that would be 36, and so on. So they have this half double relationship going on. You know, this is half of the bottom, or it takes 2 of these to make that. And so these are equal. You know that those parts are equal, and then these parts would be equal. So what I really want you to take away here, like this one over here, the bottom is always bigger. So if you're given the bottom, you're going to take half. If you're given the inside, you're going to double to get the bottom. And then over here, it takes 2 middles to equal the bottom. And by bottom, I just mean that third side. Okay. And if the 2 side parts are equal. So this side, these parts are equal, those parts are equal. So you either have equal or half double. Okay, that's all we have. There's nothing else. So I'm going to give you a second to finish copying that, and then I'm going to give you a picture to copy, and we're going to fill it in. Okay. Okay, so copy that first one. Copy down. This is an and sign. Kind of looks like a boomerang. 2 triangles that are joined together. Okay, so if we're looking at the triangles, so there's a triangle. Yellow to show it here. And then here's a triangle. So we're looking at the middle lines being parallel to the bottom, and this line being parallel to the bottom for the third side. Okay. So in each case, this is the third side. Okay. So that means it'll be the biggest one, whether it's across from here or on the bottom. Okay, so let's label what we've been given. We've been given that CD is 30, and we want to know how big is AB. If I cover up this triangle, how big would AB be? Is it half or double?
Half.
It's half, so what would that be?
15.
15. Okay. So AB is 15. Okay, so what does that make EF? If this is the third side, what would that make EF? We cover that one up. So we're looking for the inside line. The inside's always going to be smaller. So do I take half or double? Okay, good. The answer in the chat box was correct. And they said 15. Nice. Okay. So look at what we noticed about AB and EF. AB and EF are equal because that shared side of 30 is shared. Okay. So that's going to help us on the next problem where it asks us to find X and we're given AB and EF. Well, we just said that AB and EF are equal. So that becomes our equation. So 6x plus 4 is equal to 8x. And then we're going to subtract 6x on both sides. So 2x. 4 is equal to 2x. And divided by 2, we get 2 equals x. So x equals 2. So what does that make CD? Well, we'd have to find EF first. And EF is 2 times the x value, or 16. And this over here would be 16. So if EF is 16, what is that going to make CD? If EF is 16, what will that make CD? Okay, close. I've got a right answer and a couple really close. It would be 30 if, yeah, okay. If this were 15, so it is actually 32, and I had people put that in the chat box. So that becomes 32 because it's 2 times 16 or 32. Okay. So when we look at number 3, and we're given that CD is 20x and EF is 5x plus 25, well, we know the relationship between those because it takes 2 of these to equal a CD. So it takes 2 EFs to equal CD because EF is half of CD. So let's write that as an equation. So it takes 2 of the 5x plus 25s to equal CD or 20x. Okay, go ahead and solve that and put your answer in the chat box. Go ahead and solve that. And once you find X, go ahead and find CD. Once you find X, find CD. So what do we know about these two parts on each side of my midpoint? They're what? Come on, guys, wake up. If this is a midpoint, what do we know about these two?
They're equal.
Very good. Thank you. So these two are equal. That's where we're going to get the equation to solve for y. And then, are these two equal? Would 3x plus 5 be equal to 9x minus 7? So it'd be a yes or no. Any ideas? We got the one in the middle. Okay, I got a no in the chat box. That's correct. So these are not equal. Remember, it takes two of the middle ones to equal the bottom one. So it takes two of these to equal the bottom one. So that's how we would set that one up. We'd solve from there. But I really want to make sure that you have this one. This one's a little more tricky than that one. Okay. So we just said that we know that these are midpoints. That means this one is congruent to that one. So I would write this down. So x plus y is equal to 8. Well, that was easy, but I can't solve an x plus y equals 8 because I don't know what one of them is. If I knew what one of them was, I could solve for the other one. So that means let's look at the other relationship. That means in relationship to x minus y, I'm going to look to this number or variable, whatever it is. Okay. So would x minus y be equal to 10? What would x minus y be equal to? What would x minus y be equal to? If you think you know, put it in the chat box. Or if you want to take a good guess. Okay. Okay, so I know that Alex has got it. Okay, so remember what we said. How many middles does it take to get x minus y? Middles to equal the bottom, right? Yes, very good. Takes two. So it takes two of these to equal that. So x minus y has to equal 20 because it takes two of these to equal the bottom or the third side. Okay, so that becomes our system of equations. And some of you are a little better at these than others, and that's okay. We're not all at the same place. But if I give you something like this, it'll generally be the easier ones where you can just add down and solve. So if you look at it, the y's would cancel because one's a positive, one's a negative. So x and x makes 2x equals 28. Divide by 2, we get x equals 14. So now that I know what x is, I can go back and plug it in and find y. I'd probably plug it into this one. So I would go 14 plus y equals 8. And then I would subtract 14 on both sides. And I get y equals negative 6. Okay. Anybody still writing? Okay, let's go back to the last problem. And that's this funny looking problem right here. We got this ladder looking thing. Okay. So in order to do this problem, they have to tell you certain things, like these lines are all parallel to each other and the intervals in between them are equal. If you know the intervals on this side are equal, then the intervals on this side also have to be equal. They don't have to be equal to each other, but they will be equal. So let's do this. Let's label what we've been given. So we're told that AB equals 4. The distance between A and B is 4. What does that make BC? Because I want to get through this. What does that make BC? Okay, so neither of the responses in the chat are correct yet. What do the pink lines mean? What do the pink lines mean? But they're what? Little tick marks. Yes, thank you in the chat. They are congruent, they're equal. So if AB is 4, what does that make BC?
4.
4. Yep. So it makes all of these 4. So what does that make the distance from A to E? What does that make the distance between A and E? Okay, good. You people have it. Ones in the chat are correct. Okay, so here's the tricky part I want to caution you about. Because some of my students go, well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters. It must be 5 times 4. And they get 20. But as the people in the chat put it, it's not 20, it's 16, because we're counting spaces or intervals and not letters. So AE would equal, I almost wrote 20. AE would equal 16, not 20. Okay, so we're counting spaces, not letters. Okay, so what would AD be? The distance from A to B, what would it be? Someone just say it out loud.
12.
12, yep. Because 4 here, 4 there, 4 there makes 12. Okay. What did we say? Okay, so AB is 5x and then BC is 3x plus 12. What did we say about AB and BC? They're what? What relationship do they have? The distance between A and B and C.
They're equal.
They're equal. Good. So we know that these are going to be equal, and that would be my equation. So we know that AB is equal to BC, So I would write 5x is equal to 3x plus 12. I would subtract 3x on both sides. So 2x equals 12, and dividing by 2, x equals 6. That's it. You're done. Now, here's a problem that I'm going to have you work on and put the answer in the chat box. So let's label it. We know that AC is 20. So from A to C is 20. So how big is it from A to E? How big is it from A to E? How big is it from A to E? Put it in the chat box. Okay, good. So far, the answer in the chat is correct. Good job. There's 2 ways to look at it. Good. Another correct answer just popped in. Okay, anybody else? Or even a IDK? So I know that you're with me here. Mhm. Okay. Thank you for the responses. Okay, some of them are right, some of them are not. So let's do it this way. If AC is 20, so AC is 20, how big is it from A to B then? Someone just say it.
10.
10. Okay. So from here to here is 10, from here to here is 10, here to here is 10, there to there is 10. So if I'm looking for the distance from A to E, I would go A to E is from here to there. So I go 10, 20, 30, 40. Done. So it's 40. Okay. There's another way to do that to see. It's like here's 2 intervals and here's 2 intervals. We could have just added 20 and got 40. So I'm sure some of you did it probably both ways. Any questions on those? Okay. Do want to just real quick. Some of you still need to go back and take the quiz. If you got lower than a 30, which a few of you did, okay, just saying, I mean, it's fine. You would probably want to go back and redo that because you have 2 tries and then keep the highest score. Okay. Some of you got a perfect score. That was awesome. Some of you need another assignment or 2 to put you into that next grade category. So if you were struggling and you got behind this second trimester, what I can tell you is let's start fresh. Assignment number 25 is the first one going on the grading period. So 25, the quiz was on the last one. So 25 and 27 will go on from there. I need you to finish strong. No matter what you've done or haven't done until now, if you can at least finish strong, you can at least pass my class. Okay. Yes, please. So I can work with you and help you get caught up on some of the ideas and content, but many of you have been here. You at least have had the exposure to the content, but I need you to, like I said, finish strong in order to pass my class. Okay, I am here to do anything that I need to for you, and I'm talking to the admin about. I know you guys can actually come to my classroom 1 or 2 at a time. And I'm going to put out a schedule and to see, hey, does anybody want to come during the day while I'm there? You can work on individual assignments and go from there. So if you would like that, go ahead and text or email me and I will make it happen. Okay. And if transportation is an issue, let me know. I'll talk to admin and see what we can do, if anything. Okay. All right, guys. If you have questions, hang around. Otherwise, you are free to go. And I'm really glad you came by because these notes